Before kingdoms bore names and before crowns carried power, Ilé-Ifẹ awakened beneath the breath of divine dawn. From the endless waters of creation, Odua stretched forth sacred earth, commanding land to rise where only oceans had ruled. And from that far sacred soil, destiny grew like the roots of the great ìrókò, spreading life across a waiting world. But Odua knew that kingdoms are not built by land alone. They are built by heirs, chosen by destiny. Within the sacred palace of red earth and carved wisdom, the father of nations prepared his household for history. The palace echoed with drums that spoke, priestesses who sang to the ancestors, and messengers who carried whispers of distant lands. The royal children trained not only in battle, but in diplomacy, law, and the sacred mysteries of spiritual balance. Through Ifa divination, the unseen world revealed secrets, casting visions upon newborn souls destined for greatness. The spirits showed paths stretching far beyond Ilé-Ifẹ, calling the children of Odua toward lands yet unconquered. Ilé-Ifẹ flourished as the beating heart of commerce, culture, and divine authority across the growing Yoruba world. Pilgrims traveled from distant lands, seeking blessings from the city where heaven first touched earth. In the sacred shrine, Odua listened as the voices of destiny spoke through flame and sacred verse. And when the time came, the children departed, not in exile, but as bearers of civilization. Among them stood Oranmiyan, the warrior prince, whose courage was said to echo through generations unborn. Marked with sacred chalk and crowned with ancestral blessings, he accepted the burden of conquest and kingship. Through forests thick with mystery, Oranmiyan led warriors and priests toward lands that would test their destiny. Guided by ancestral wisdom, he planted the seeds of mighty empires that would link kingdoms through blood and legacy. Upon reaching the northern savannah, Oranmiyan found a land vast enough to forge a new power. There, the city of Oyo rose from grasslands into a fortress of warriors, craftsmen, and rulers. The cavalry of Oyo thundered across the plains, transforming warfare and securing dominion over vast territories. Within royal chambers, the Oyo chiefs balanced power with wisdom, shaping governance through sacred political order. Across rivers, forests, and coastlines, the descendants of Odua carried culture like sacred fire into new kingdoms. The coastal kingdom of Ijebu opened its shores to commerce, linking ocean tides with royal prosperity. Deep within forest strongholds, the Egba warriors forged settlements guarded by nature and discipline. To the west, Ketu expanded royal authority across new lands where traditions blended and flourished. In Ilé-Ifẹ, ceremonies and festivals preserved northern Yoruba identity through rhythm and royal celebration. At the center of all power rested the sacred crown, Adeleke, symbol of divine authority passed through generations. Behind the veil of beads, kings became vessels of ancestral spirits, ruling not as men alone but as living bridges to heaven. Coronations were not mere celebrations. They were sacred transformations where rulers became guardians of destiny. Babalawo priests traveled tirelessly between kingdoms, carrying wisdom older than memory itself. Through Arshe, the sacred force of creation flowed through kings, farmers, artisans, and priests alike. Each planting season reminded the people that survival depended not only on labor, but on harmony with the spirits. Trade routes stretched across West Africa, binding distant cultures through commerce and shared prosperity. Within the workshops of Ilé-Ifẹ, artisans sculpted bronze and terracotta masterpieces that captured both human beauty and divine mystery. Through the voices of praise singers, history lived, danced, and spoke across generations. In great festivals, Yoruba kings gathered beneath shared ancestry, celebrating unity beyond borders. Pilgrimages to Ilé-Ifẹ renewed the covenant between kingdoms and the sacred origins of their civilization. Yet, beyond the ocean horizon, unfamiliar sails emerged, carrying winds of change no oracle had fully foretold. Though kingdoms flourished like constellations across the land, shadows of future trials gathered quietly. Still, beneath the watchful gaze of the ancestors, the Yoruba world stood radiant, a civilization born of divine soil, sacred crowns, and children who carried destiny upon their shoulders.